YouTube, welcome to channel Anna Bella, and today I'm going to be reviewing Doctor Who episode 3 of series 12, which is called Orphan 55. First things first, there's two main points here. There's an overriding theme which I am going to get onto with the main episode, but I'm shelving that to just talk about the Doctor Who references. First off, there are two main references and they both feature the 7th Doctor as played by Sylvester McCoy. First one is Dragonfire. And in Dragonfire you've got a male character called Kane, and he's got his best lieutenant is Belage, which is very similar to what we had in Orphan 55. We had a female Kane and her daughter, who was Trixibel. So there's a Doctor Who reference. And also in Dragonfire, the dragon in that was very similar to the dregs. Moving on from Dragonfire to an episode called Paradise Towers, where you had a tower block that was filled with all sorts of different people, but each level had different class of people living on it. And it was very similar to the whole spa atmosphere, I felt. Anyway, this episode also has elements of the Truman Show film that Jim Carrey did with them living in a dome. Just thought I'd point that out. And interesting, the whole humanity thing. We have seen the Earth destroyed before with the 9th Doctor, as played by Christopher Eccleston, when he took Billy Piper, who played Rose Tyler, to see the Earth destroyed. I think that was an episode called Satellite 9, I think. I can't really remember, but I do remember that they did do that. It was interesting. Now we're going to get onto the thing that I shelved at the start. Obviously, climate change. There are many things that have to change. Currently, supermarkets have, within the UK, have got rid of most of plastic bags and are either selling the stronger lifelong plastic bags or aren't selling them at all. So you've got to bring your own bags to pack stuff, which is great. Packaging needs to change on a lot of things, particularly those juice cartons, because there's no way that we can continue using that cardboard with plastic, because you just can't recycle it. There's lots of things that have got to be done. Packaging is one of them. Whole ways of doing things have to change. Electric cars aren't really environmentally friendly. Biofuel cars would be better, but the one benefit to electric cars is the petrol and diesel fumes are no longer polluting the atmosphere. So you're getting rid of air pollution, but you're still using fossil fuels to power the power plant to make the electricity, unless you're using wind power or solar power. So there's lots of things that need to change. And the episode clearly talked about that. You can either be the best of humanity or you can be the worst of humanity. But it's interesting that the dregs actually breathe like trees. Because, yeah, that's just interesting on many levels. It was a really, really good episode. I enjoyed it. I liked the interaction between Ryan and Bella. I thought that was good because it made Yaz sort of think about Ryan in a different way. Think about Ryan in a different way, and perhaps consider getting on with the whole Ryan and Yaz romance that is clearly brewing. Graham had that thing like, oh my goodness, I nearly lost my grandson, which was, I think, a brilliant use of Graham's character. It was interesting that we had Silas and his father. I thought that was a good dynamic, featuring the boy who played Roger in his Dark Materials season 1, and we all know how that turns out for Roger. Don't worry, Roger will return to his Dark Materials, but not in a way that you would expect. That's a huge spoiler there, sorry for that. I really, really enjoyed the episode. Out of 5, I would actually give it 4.9, purely because I thought some of the concepts from Classic Who were being repeated, but I really like that. They're obviously setting it up for the Doctor to tell them all about Gallifrey and her homeworld. Or is it his homeworld? I suppose being the 13th, being a lady, it would be her homeworld. Anyway, yes, moving on from the gender confusion. So 4.9, I really enjoyed the episode, thought it was current, had good timing, and actually had a story, and you actually invested in the other characters, particularly Benny and, I forget what her name was. Was it Mavis? I want to say Mavis. It probably wasn't Mavis, but I'm going to go with it anyway. I thought that their story was interesting, how that they had 40 years together and he'd never actually got round to proposing and marrying. That was interesting. There was lots of warnings about the creepiness of the monster in this. I like the fact that they were called the dregs and how they'd evolved and changed and adapted to their environment, which is more than I can say for current human behaviour. I think it's going to be really, really important in the future that we think more about what we do and how we do things. To be absolutely honest, I really think that we should just get on with public transport. If we could make a biofuel train work, that would be really cool. But it's going to cost an awful lot of money to go from one system to the other. And that's the main problem. So we really need to really think out of the box and to get on with it. Anyway, that's my climate change rant. I'm going to give the episode 4.9 out of 5 because I thought it was on point, it was current, and it actually had an engaging story, and it did move all of the characters forward with their stories. I really, really enjoyed it. In short, never, ever, ever go on holiday with the Doctor. Please like, comment and subscribe, and thank you for your support, and Happy New Year to you all. I am so pleased with how the channel is shaping up, and I will be doing a channel update very, very, very soon. See you all in the channel update that will be coming very soon, and thanks again. Bye, and keep watching Doctor Who because it's actually really quite good. Bye-bye.